double major in, Steve, politics, philosophy, and economics. It sounds just like you at Arizona.
Similar, only different. But, you know, shortly after college, Budenholzer actually took over as the video coordinator for the Spurs, and that's where his career took off. He ended up spending 19 seasons alongside Greg Popovich, winning 4 titles, and now here he is coaching the Atlanta Hawks.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Well, you talk about the financial commitment by the Brooklyn Nets. Last year's starting lineup was the highest paid in NBA history.
Well, to a man, they all made well over $10 million, Kevin. I mean, Joe Johnson was over $20 million, and boy, that's a lot of cheese to be coughing up to those guys, but it is what it is.
And for the around 26 non-luxury tax teams in the NBA, they might want to write up a nice thank you card to the Nets, considering that the Nets paid about $88 million in tax. That's the highest in league history. A chunk of that change goes to those other teams. Wow, what an incredible run they're on. This is as good an offense as you will see.
Well, every single guy on the floor right now just feeling it.
The screen from Brown. Williams dishes to Young. The kick out to Brown. The Nets working the ball around now. Here's Lopez. Rebound by the Hawks.
But even as expensive as the Brooklyn roster has been, the Nets are still enjoying a huge boost in franchise value since moving to Brooklyn. 2 years ago, the team was valued at $357 million or thereabouts. I wonder where these valuation numbers come from. But anyway, last year that number was at $780 million. Well, that's not a bad return in just a couple of years. It almost sounds like play money.
Schroeder passes to Courtney. Outside, Scott. In Atlanta again with the bucket.
And that was very confident offense right there.
Nets trail by 17. Young sets a screen for Williams. Pass to Young. Screen by Young. Scott pulls it in.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
That's like a layup for him. It's wide open out there.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Well, guys, Kyle Korver, of course, one of the league's most dangerous shooters. He said three-point shooting had better be the best part of my game, but if that's all you do, you don't get to play that much in the NBA. I try and be solid all around. I enjoy basketball and not just shooting. Kevin, he's a gamer.
He comes from a basketball family, Doris. He has that deep love of the game. You can just tell. Thanks.
Al Horford, 6'10", 250, really a natural power forward who's been asked to play at center for his whole career. He's shown himself willing to battle bigger players inside, but you got to think he'd welcome a chance to switch back to the 4 spot.
Both teams deciding to change it up. And Young, here we go. And Plumlee kicks to Williams. He feeds it to Plumlee. Brown outside. 6 on the shot clock. And again, it's the Nets missing.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
Young sets a screen for Williams. Young outside. Back to Williams. Dishes it to Johnson. To end the run. Another shot. Here's Young. Persistence pays off as they finally hit a shot. Young's got 4 this quarter.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Sefolosha's shot is good.
4 of the last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Yeah, that's textbook basketball, just having their way down low.
Right side, Williams. And it's blocked. Here's Millsap. Shot is off. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Hawks ahead, opening up a huge gap. We'll see you after halftime for the beginning of the third quarter. Back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. For Brooklyn, they're shooting here about 46% for the game. Well, the Hawks not just competitive, but also with some financial flexibility. That's been a goal with their front office.
And they put themselves, Kevin, in a good position. And this is a team that I think could make some moves going forward.
Millsap at power forward with Horford at center. Teague and Korver in the backcourt. And it's Carroll in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Atlanta.
Did you see the defense get caught standing around that time, giving up an easy second chance bucket?
Simply need more of an effort on the boards there, Steve.
And the Hawks, in creating their cap space, had to part company with some of their star talent. Joe Johnson, Josh Smith. Now, that's their 2 leading scorers in consecutive seasons. Moving on, and yet they've stayed on the winning track.
Well, I tell you what, you have to be impressed with the resiliency of this Hawks team. Losing Johnson and Smith, then Horford goes down to a serious injury. And yet they've battled through and really in many cases have exceeded expectations.
Well, Joe Johnson, a 14-year veteran. Most of our fans remember him back in Phoenix, probably the 4th best player on that team. Steve, just go back to that time. I mean, just scary.
Well, if the Suns could have kept him, you think about what might have been. That was a team that came very close for 4 or 5 years to being a championship team, but never got to the finals. So Johnson moved on to Atlanta, where he became an all-star. And you always wonder what might have been in Phoenix.
And so he hits both.
And Joe Johnson in his second season in Atlanta averaging 25 a game, but that was 8 years ago. Last season, around 16 a game.
T kicks to Korver. The tray. That's good. And so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 5th assist in this one. Nets trailed by 21. Outside Williams. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
And age starting to show for Johnson. Below average player efficiency rating in the last 2 seasons. But he's still owed $48 million over this season and next.
And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. Right at the free throw line, and Atlanta again with the bucket.
That kind of sums up the defensive effort we've seen here tonight, guys.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hey, guys, over that break, I was able to catch the message Lionel Hollins was giving to his team. There was one thing he stressed above everything else, and that was getting the ball into the low post. That is where their points can and should be coming from in his mind. He said also that that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. The Hawks leading by 23. Millsap kicks to Korver and taken away by Brown. Outside Williams. And Young, here we go. No good.
It has not been an ideal start to the second half. They've missed 3 of their first 4.
And that one's good. Terrell's got 15.
Up and in on every one of their first 3 shots to start the second half.
Brooklyn's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Williams kicks to Johnson. Lopez against Millsap. Outside Williams. Shot clock at 6. Brown dishes to Johnson. That's short off the rim.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Carroll. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
The Nets brought in a lot of talent before last season, and even though they had the big-name stars starting, they were actually a very deep team.
Guys, as you said, the Nets stars got a lot of the attention, but they would go to the bench often, and Steve, it would pay off for them.
Well, they were second in bench minutes played last year and also top 5 in points off the bench. So, this was a deep roster, and it really came through for them.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Mirza Teletovic is checked in for Young. Allen Anderson comes in for Brown. And Jarrett Jack has subbed in for Williams. Carroll hits them both.
Brooklyn Nets going all in last season, a record $89 million in luxury tax payments, on a mission to win a championship. Of course, it didn't happen, but the question is, where do they go from here?
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn.
For the Nets, between their trades with the Hawks and the Celtics, they've actually traded away most of their draft picks through 2018. So, what you see is pretty much what you're going to get with this group.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Mike Scott comes in for Paul Millsap. And Thabo Sefolosha subbed in for DeMarre Carroll. Lopez a screen on Teague. Johnson attacking.
And no question, he got bumped on that shot.
Definitely. No room for discussion on that one.
The Nets have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
And you look at the numbers from a year ago, guys, this is a club that hit about 75% of its free throws.
That's good from Johnson. Atlanta making some changes. And Johnson drops them both.
100% free throw shooting this half, guys.
Efficiency is so crucial when you're trying to overcome a deficit, Steve.
Mack, the pass to Bazemore. Drops in the tray. Bazemore's got 13 points.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
Yeah, they're making the right play, they're working together, and they're just looking for the best shot they can every possession.
Here's Lopez. The shot is off, so the Hawks will take it the other way.
Kent Bazemore, the second player to win the Lefty Driesell Award for the Division I college basketball's best defender in 2011 while he was at Old Dominion. I tell you what, his athleticism and the length he has really makes him a problem defensively.
And Jack kicks to Anderson. That's good.
Well, he can squeeze himself into the box score every now and then.
And here's Atlanta. They're on a 14-4 run. Here's Mack.